Your cruise cabin might look perfect when you book it, but one hidden mistake could ruin your entire vacation before the ship even leaves the port. Thousands of passengers make cabin decisions based on a photo, a low price, or a quick recommendation online. Then they discover the truth. Their cabin is shaking all night, filled with noise, missing important features, or costing them hundreds more than expected. The worst part? Many of these mistakes are completely avoidable. Today, we reveal the 14 cruise cabin mistakes every passenger must avoid in 2026, and mistake number 7 shocks even loyal cruisers. 1. Booking the wrong cabin location can ruin your entire cruise. The biggest cabin mistake is choosing your room based only on price instead of location. Most passengers think a cabin is just a place to sleep. They believe the cheapest option is the smartest option because they will barely spend time there anyway. But experienced cruisers know the truth. Your cabin location can decide whether you enjoy your cruise ship experience or spend the entire trip fighting noise, motion, and inconvenience. One Royal Caribbean passenger learned this after booking a cabin that looked like a great deal. The room was affordable, clean, and appeared perfect on the booking website. But when the ship sailed, the problem started. The cabin was directly below a busy pool deck. Every morning, before many passengers were even awake, crew members were moving chairs and preparing the area above. At night, music and footsteps continued late into the evening. The passengers saved money during booking but lost sleep every single night. And that is the mistake many first-time cruisers make. They look at the cabin category but ignore what surrounds the cabin. A room near elevators can mean constant hallway traffic. A cabin below entertainment areas can bring unwanted noise. A cabin at the front or back of the ship can feel more movement during rough seas. The location matters just as much as the cabin itself. Always check the cruise ship deck plan before booking. Avoid cabins near noisy public areas, and choose a location based on your sleeping habits and comfort level. 2. Ignoring cabin size and storage space before packing. The second mistake passengers make is assuming their cruise cabin will have enough space for everything they bring. Most people imagine cruise ship cabins like normal hotel rooms. They picture large closets, open floors, and plenty of places to organize their luggage. But the reality is very different. Cruise cabins are designed to be efficient, not oversized. One family sailing on MSC discovered this problem during embarkation day. They packed multiple large suitcases because they were preparing for a 10-day cruise. They brought formal outfits, beach clothes, shoes, electronics, and extra bags for shore excursions. When they entered their cabin, they immediately realized something. There was nowhere to put everything. Their luggage filled the walkway. Their clothes stayed inside suitcases for days. And every morning became a frustrating search through piles of belongings. The problem was not the cabin. The problem was poor preparation. Many passengers forget that cruise cabins use smart storage solutions. There may be space under the bed, hidden shelves, drawers, and closet areas. But if you overpack, even a well-designed cabin can feel extremely small. The worst part? A crowded cabin can make your vacation feel stressful instead of relaxing. You should be enjoying the buffet, entertainment, and destinations, not fighting with your luggage every morning. Pack lighter, use packing cubes, store suitcases under the bed, and bring only what you actually need for your cruise vacation. 3. Forgetting to check what is included with your cabin. One of the most expensive cabin mistakes is assuming every cabin comes with the same benefits. Many passengers believe the only difference between cabins is the size and view. But cruise lines often create different experiences depending on your cabin category. A passenger booking a Carnival cruise balcony cabin might expect certain perks. Then they discover that another balcony category includes better locations, extra services, or additional benefits. On some cruise ships, higher cabin levels may include priority boarding, better dining options, special lounges, or dedicated service areas. Meanwhile, passengers who never check the details end up paying extra later. This happens because cruise websites make booking feel simple. You choose a room, you pay, you move on. But hidden differences between cabin types can affect your entire trip. The mistake is not choosing the cheapest cabin. The mistake is paying for something without understanding what you are actually getting. Some passengers upgrade because they think they are receiving a major improvement. Others skip upgrades that would have provided valuable benefits. The difference comes from research. Your cabin is more than 4 walls. It determines what access, comfort, and convenience you receive during the cruise. Before booking, compare every cabin category carefully, read exactly what is included, and make sure the cabin benefits match the type of vacation you want. 4. Not bringing the right cabin essentials. The fourth mistake is stepping onto a cruise ship without the small cabin items that can make your trip easier. Most passengers focus on the big things. They think about flights, passports, excursions, and dinner reservations. But many forget the small details inside the cabin. And those small details can create unnecessary frustration. One NCL passenger discovered this during the first night of their cruise. They arrived after a long travel day, unpacked their bags, and realized something important. The cabin had limited outlets. They had phones, watches, cameras, and other devices that all needed charging. But there were not enough convenient places to plug everything in. Another common issue is forgetting items like magnetic hooks, a night light, or a small organizer. Cruise cabins often have metal walls, which means magnetic accessories can create extra storage space. Without them, passengers sometimes struggle to organize daily items. The truth is, cruise cabins are comfortable, but they are designed differently from homes. The space is limited. The storage is unique. And preparation makes a huge difference. Experienced cruisers know these little tricks because they learned them after making mistakes themselves. Create a cruise cabin checklist before departure and bring smart essentials like organizers, charging solutions, and items that help maximize your limited cabin space. 5. Choosing a cabin without considering seasickness. The fifth mistake is booking any cabin you like without thinking about how much ship movement you can handle. Many passengers believe seasickness is only a problem for people who have never been on a cruise before. But here's the truth. Even experienced cruisers can feel uncomfortable when they choose the wrong cabin location. A passenger sailing on a Royal Caribbean cruise learned this during a Caribbean itinerary. They booked a beautiful cabin at the very front of the ship because they wanted a quieter area with fewer people walking by. The cabin looked amazing. The view was incredible. But once the ship reached open water, the movement became noticeable. The passengers started feeling dizzy, especially at night when the waves increased. Instead of enjoying the restaurants, shows, and activities, they spent hours inside the cabin trying to recover. And this is where many passengers make a mistake. They choose a cabin based on appearance instead of comfort. The front and back areas of a cruise ship usually experience more movement. The middle section of the ship, especially lower decks, often feels more stable. This matters even more on longer voyages, ocean crossings, or itineraries where weather conditions can change quickly. Most cruisers don't realize that a smart cabin choice can reduce the chances of feeling sick before the trip even begins. If you are sensitive to motion, choose a lower cabin near the middle of the cruise ship and avoid the extreme front or back areas whenever possible. 6. Leaving important documents and valuables unorganized inside the cabin. The sixth mistake is treating your cruise cabin like a regular hotel room and leaving important items anywhere. Most passengers arrive excited. They drop their bags. They start exploring the cruise ship. They head to the buffet, pool deck, or first onboard activity. But many forget one important thing. Their cabin contains everything they need to complete the trip. Passports, travel documents, money, credit cards, medication. A Carnival cruise passenger shared a frustrating experience after leaving important paperwork mixed inside their luggage. During the cruise, they needed documents for a port stop. But finding everything became a stressful search through multiple bags. They wasted valuable vacation time trying to locate items that should have been organized from the beginning. The bigger problem happens when passengers leave valuables in random places. A cabin feels private, but dozens of crew members may enter during cleaning, maintenance, and service. That does not mean something will happen, but smart travelers avoid unnecessary risks. Experienced cruisers create a system immediately after entering the cabin. They know where passports are stored. They know where daily essentials are placed. And they avoid creating confusion later. A relaxing cruise should not include panic searches before a shore excursion. Organize your important documents the moment you enter your cabin. Use the safe for valuables, and keep only the items you need each day easily accessible. 7. Not understanding how cabin upgrades actually work. The seventh mistake shocks even loyal cruisers. Many passengers upgrade their cabin without knowing if they are actually getting better value. Most people assume an upgrade automatically means a better experience. A higher deck, a bigger room, a more expensive category. But the truth is more complicated. Cruise lines know passengers love the word upgrade. It creates excitement. It makes people feel like they are getting something special. But sometimes the upgrade is not as valuable as it appears. One MSC passenger received an offer to upgrade from an interior cabin to a balcony cabin. The price seemed reasonable. They immediately accepted. But later they discovered the new cabin was located directly near a noisy public area. They paid more for a balcony, but lost the peaceful location they originally had. This is the mistake. Passengers focus on the category name, but ignore the details. A balcony does not automatically mean a better cabin. A higher deck does not always mean a better experience. The location, noise level, and convenience matter just as much. Smart cruisers do not chase upgrades blindly. They calculate whether the additional cost actually improves their vacation. Sometimes the original cabin is the better choice. Before accepting any upgrade offer, check the exact cabin location, compare the benefits, and only pay more when the upgrade truly improves your cruise experience. 8. Keeping your cabin lights and electronics unprepared. The eighth mistake is not understanding how your cruise ship cabin's electricity system works before you need it. Many passengers assume their cabin works exactly like their bedroom at home. They bring multiple electronics. They expect unlimited outlets. They expect everything to work immediately. But cruise ship cabins operate differently. A Royal Caribbean passenger discovered this during a family vacation. After a full day of travel and embarkation activities, everyone returned to the cabin needing to charge devices. Phones, cameras, tablets, smartwatches. But the cabin had limited outlets. The family spent the evening deciding who could charge what first. It was a small problem. But during a busy cruise schedule, small problems become annoying quickly. Another issue passengers discover is cabin energy-saving systems. Some cruise ships require your key card to activate certain cabin features. Passengers sometimes think something is broken because lights or power do not work the way they expect. The truth is, cruise cabins are designed for efficiency. They are built differently from homes. Knowing these systems before sailing saves time and frustration. Experienced cruisers prepare before they need something. They do not wait until their phone battery is dead before searching for solutions. Learn your cruise ship's cabin setup before arrival. Bring appropriate charging solutions and understand how the room's power system works on day 1. 9. Ignoring the cabin temperature controls. The ninth mistake is assuming your cruise ship cabin temperature will always be perfect when you walk in. Many passengers expect their cabin to feel exactly like a hotel room. They arrive after a long travel day, open the door, and expect instant comfort. But the reality is different. Cruise cabins can sometimes feel warmer or cooler than expected, especially during the first day of sailing. One NCL passenger discovered this after boarding a tropical cruise. The cabin looked beautiful, but the room felt warmer than comfortable when they arrived. They assumed the air conditioning was broken. They spent hours waiting for it to improve instead of checking the simple controls on the wall. Later, they realized the system just needed adjustment. This seems like a small issue. But small cabin problems become much more frustrating when you are tired, unpacking, and trying to start your vacation. Another thing many passengers forget is that leaving the balcony door open can affect the cabin climate. Some cruisers open the balcony door because they love the ocean breeze. But on many cruise ships, this can reduce the effectiveness of the air conditioning. The room may become humid. The temperature may change. And your cabin may not feel comfortable when you return. Experienced cruisers understand that cabin comfort requires a little preparation. The goal is to spend your vacation enjoying the ocean views, not fighting with your room settings. Learn your cabin temperature controls immediately after boarding. Keep balcony doors closed when using the air conditioning, and adjust the room before you settle in. 10. Forgetting about noise from neighbors and hallways. The 10th mistake is believing your cruise cabin is automatically a quiet private space. Most passengers think the thick cabin walls will block everything. They imagine closing the door means complete peace. But here's the catch. Cruise ships are floating cities with thousands of people moving around every day. A passenger on a Carnival cruise learned this after booking a cabin near a busy hallway. During the day, The location seemed convenient. It was close to elevators. It was easy to reach restaurants and entertainment areas. But at night, the passenger noticed constant activity outside the door. People returning from shows. Families walking back from the pool. Guests talking loudly in the hallway. The cabin itself was comfortable. The location was the problem. Another issue is neighboring passengers. Some guests wake up early. Some stay awake late. Some talk loudly. Some allow doors to slam repeatedly. You cannot control every person on a cruise ship, but you can make smarter choices. This is why experienced cruisers pay attention to cabin placement. They avoid areas with heavy traffic when they want a peaceful vacation. A few minutes of research before booking can save several nights of poor sleep. And sleep matters. A tired passenger enjoys less of the cruise experience. They have less energy for excursions, entertainment, and exploring ports. Choose cabins away from elevators, stairways, and high-traffic areas, and consider bringing simple noise solutions if you are a light sleeper. 11. Not using the cabin safe correctly. The 11th mistake is leaving valuable items unsecured because passengers assume their cabin is completely private. Many cruisers arrive on a cruise ship feeling relaxed. They unpack. They explore. They leave items around the room because the cabin feels like their personal space. But smart travelers know the importance of protecting important belongings. One Royal Caribbean passenger learned this lesson after leaving expensive electronics visible inside the cabin. Nothing happened during the trip, but the passenger realized they had taken an unnecessary risk. Cruise vacations involve many situations where you are away from your cabin for hours. You might be enjoying a shore excursion, watching a show, relaxing by the pool, dining at a restaurant. During those times, your cabin should not contain unnecessary temptation. Cruise lines provide safes for a reason, yet many passengers ignore them or only use them for passports. Experienced cruisers know the safe is useful for more than travel documents. It can protect jewelry, extra cash, important cards, and valuable electronics. The goal is not to create fear. The goal is to travel smarter. A good vacation includes peace of mind. The last thing you want is to spend your cruise worrying about something you could have prevented. Use your cabin safe from the first day, store valuable items properly, and only carry what you actually need when leaving the cruise ship. 12. Forgetting to check the cabin bathroom before the cruise begins. The 12th mistake is ignoring your cruise cabin bathroom setup until you actually need it. Most passengers focus on the bedroom area. They check the bed. They look at the view. They unpack their clothes. But many forget that the bathroom is one of the most important spaces in the cabin. And cruise ship bathrooms are different from what you are used to at home. One MSC passenger discovered this after bringing large bottles of shampoo, conditioner, and multiple personal products. They quickly realized the shower area had very limited storage space. The products took over the entire area. Every shower became a struggle. Another common surprise is the size of cruise ship showers. Many first-time cruisers are shocked by how compact they are. The space is designed efficiently, not for storing a full bathroom collection. This is why experienced cruisers prepare differently. They bring travel-sized products. They use organizers. They keep only essential items inside the bathroom. Another mistake is forgetting to check where the toilet paper, towels, and basic supplies are located. Small preparation makes a big difference. Your cabin bathroom should make your cruise easier, not become another daily frustration. The best cruisers understand that limited space requires smart organization. Inspect your cabin bathroom immediately after arrival, organize your essentials, and bring compact travel items designed for small cruise ship spaces. 13. Leaving your cabin without checking the most important details. The 13th mistake is rushing out of your cabin and forgetting the small details that can create major problems later. Most passengers are excited when they board a cruise ship. They want to explore everything immediately. They head to the buffet. They check the pool deck. They take photos. They start the vacation mode instantly. But experienced cruisers know the first few minutes inside your cabin are extremely important. One Carnival cruise passenger learned this after leaving the cabin quickly on embarkation day. They were excited to join the activities and explore the ship. Hours later, they realized they had never checked the cabin properly. They missed important information. They did not organize their belongings. They did not confirm where everything was located. Then, later in the cruise, small issues started appearing. They had trouble finding storage areas. They searched for documents. They wasted time looking for items they should have organized on the first day. This is a common mistake because passengers underestimate how much easier the rest of the trip becomes when the cabin is prepared correctly. Your cabin is your home base for the entire cruise. Every shore excursion, every dinner, every activity. You return there multiple times each day. A few minutes of preparation can save hours of frustration. Smart cruisers create a simple routine when they enter their cabin. They check the bathroom. They check storage. They check the safe. They learn the important features before the vacation gets busy. Spend your first 10 minutes inside your cabin organizing, checking supplies, and learning the space before rushing off to explore the cruise ship. 14. Not inspecting your cabin immediately after boarding. The final and one of the most important cabin mistakes is waiting too long to report problems. Many passengers assume that if something is wrong with their cabin, they can simply fix it later. But this can create unnecessary stress. The moment you enter your cabin is when you should look carefully. Not after dinner. Not halfway through the cruise. Not after leaving the port. One Royal Caribbean passenger discovered a cabin issue after spending the entire first day on board. They noticed a problem with the room setup, but decided to wait. They thought it would be easier to handle later. The problem? Hundreds of other passengers were also reporting issues. Guest services became extremely busy. What could have been a quick solution became a frustrating process. This happens because passengers forget one important fact. Cruise ships are operating on a schedule. Crew members are constantly managing thousands of guests. The earlier you report a problem, the easier it is to solve. Small issues can become bigger problems if ignored. A broken item, a missing feature, a cabin location problem, a maintenance concern. These things should be addressed immediately. Experienced cruisers know the first hour of the cruise can determine how comfortable the rest of the trip feels. Your cabin should be relaxing from day one. Inspect your entire cabin as soon as you arrive. Test important features, and immediately contact guest services if anything is missing, damaged, or not working correctly. Conclusion: avoid these cabin mistakes before your next cruise. Your cruise cabin is more than just a place to sleep. It is the foundation of your entire vacation experience. From choosing the wrong location to ignoring storage, noise, safety, and cabin preparation, these mistakes can turn an exciting cruise into a frustrating experience. But the good news is that almost every one of these problems can be avoided with simple planning. Experienced Carnival, Royal Caribbean, MSC, and NCL passengers understand one thing. A great cruise does not start when the ship leaves the port. It starts when you choose and prepare the right cabin. Now you know the mistakes that many passengers learn only after making them. If this video helped you prepare for your next cruise, make sure to subscribe, because we reveal more hidden cruise ship tips that save passengers time, money, and stress.